Well, good morning everybody. What a wet morning it's been up to now. Actually, it's just gone dinner time. It's not really morning. It's absolutely been chucking it down all morning, I'm afraid. So I've only just been able to get out here. So what I'm going to do is try to explain what I've actually got in mind now. What my intentions are, which is massive, to be quite honest. We'll just unlock the shed. Right, we'll go into the big shed. Just give me a moment and I'll put the light on. Get some light in here. Right, so there's the RDF, all done and finished in the shed. What I've got in mind now is absolutely crazy, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to revamp the filter house, and that's going to be one heck of a job, I must say. I've got all this done, by the way. It's all done and finished. I've got the lid on. If we lift that up, we can see inside. So that's all done and finished. If I shut that, I've put two handles either end as well. So if I want, I can actually lift the lid off and put it to one side. So I haven't hinged it at the back. So if I want to look inside, I can just look inside. If I want to lift it off, I can lift it off. That's how I've made the lid. Because if you want it out of the way, well then you just take it out of the way. Otherwise it's going to be there permanent. So I didn't hinge it. I've just put handles both ends and one at the front. But anyway, the RDF is all done and finished, and as I say, I'm going to try revamping the actual filter house. So up here, this has started something off, this has. I've found myself loads of work. Why, I don't really know, but I can't put the new RDF in here, and I'll tell you what I've got in mind. In the filter house itself, I'm just going to have to fasten that door back, else it's going to blow shut and make a big bang. So I'll just fasten the door back. Right, in the filter house itself, just let the camera get used to the light. Okay, as you know, I've got my usual RDF purring away, and the moving bed and the Backy River. Now all this is going to come out, everything, and I'm going to start again. And as you can see there, my plastics just come for making a new moving bed as well, so they match. So I'm going to have a new moving bed and a new RDF, and hopefully a little bit more room, but there won't be that much room, that much excess. Also what I want to do is lower this Backy River down. I wouldn't run my pond without one now. It's absolutely brilliant. So I'm going to take this and drop it down lower, which hopefully it will be gravity fed from the RDF, and I can do away with the pump that actually runs that Backy River. So I can actually take that pump out and have it gravity fed, and then it will return back outside to the pipe that returns to the pond. Hopefully, this is my ideas at the moment. Now to do all this, I'm going to have to build myself a temporary filter. Number one, because I don't want all the bacteria that I've taken so long to create that's on that 100 litres of media and on the 50 litres of Cyperax that's in the Backy River. I don't want to lose the bacteria off that, so I want to keep that running. Now as the temperature's dropping, it's probably a good time of year to do it, because your bacteria is going to be low anyway. So I'm hoping to make a temporary filter and run it with a temporary pump and get all this done, which is going to be one heck of a job. But there you go. I don't know why I'm doing all this, I've gone mad now. But there you go, it'll keep me busy and stop me getting into mischief. But that's my intentions, to renew it all in here, tidy it up and get everything working as it should be. With this new RDF, it started everything off, you see. I thought if I put the RDF in here on that old moving bed, it's not going to look right, so I've decided to build a new moving bed. And I thought if I'm doing all that and taking all that out, I might as well drop the Backy River down so I can do away with that pump as well. So major work, and like I say, before I do any of that I've got to build a temporary filter to keep my what bacteria there will be, keep that alive. So I'm going to do that. I've also got, as you know, I've got to do something with the pre-filter, or the pipe work to the pre-filter. I've got to take all that out, redo it where it comes from the pond down there. So I've got to dig all that out and then route it across there and into the actual pre-filter. So I've got that to do as well. So my work's cut out for the next few weeks, most definitely. But first of all, I've got to build a temporary filter to keep my media in, and some sort of temporary filter just to filter the dirt before it goes into there. But I can sort all that out, that's not a problem. I've just got to do it. So I'm going to get some bits ordered for that, and I am actually going for it big time. So loads of work ahead, I'm afraid. But there you go, it'll keep me out of trouble. Mrs might go a bit mental when I tell her, but there you go. Can't have it always. But everything else is fine, the fish are doing well. The temperature's dropping now, it's coming down. I didn't actually look what it is now, but it's slowly coming down. The weather's breaking, we're getting wind and rain most of the time, so it's going to make life a little bit difficult doing the digging across there. But I suppose it's better than doing it mid-season. If I can get it all done before the winter really sets in, it will be just right. And then it can have the winter to settle down and be ready for next summer and all operational for when the summer comes along. So that's what I've got in mind at the moment. A whole lot of work. Now with this RDF, I've got to get it out of here, and it'll have to go outside for now, because for the simple reason I need the space in here to build the moving bed, a new moving bed, so I shall need the space in here to get that done. What I did on this, which I've forgotten to tell you about, let's just have a look down this end. If you can see this, I have revamped the pipe work under there. I have redone that so the pump is set back a lot more now. It's set back right under the RDF, and what I'm going to do is box them sides in, which will cut back on a lot of noise, but it's also out the way, and it'll be waterproof under there. It's not going to get wet if it's outside. So I've just got the sides to box in on that, and then that's all done. But that's the modification I made on that. I've moved it back under the RDF itself. Anyway guys, that's my intentions for the next week or two. I shall be flat out doing all that. Well guys, I don't know whether you can hear that or see it. We're having a bit of a storm at the moment. It is shucking it down. I can hardly hear myself, hope you can hear me. But boy, is it coming down at the moment. Wow. Just hope it calms down a bit. Let's shut that door. Okay, so far in my quest to rebuild the, if you can hear me above this rain, to rebuild the filter house. As you know, the RDF's all done, and I've now got the moving bed built. I've just got the wood to put round the top, same as the RDF, and round the bottom. That's done. I've just got to connect it together and then get the outlet in the other end. And I don't suppose there's any reason why, oh dear, the rain, why I can't put it in the filter house. Because the way we're going at the minute, it's raining every day, and I am not going to get the yard dug up or the garden dug up in this lot, I'm afraid. But there you go. I've got the moving bed done. I've just got to put the wood round just to make it a little bit more stable. That's done. Connect it up, and that'll be ready to go in. It is a bit of a pain here in the shed because I can't move at the minute. Everything's a little bit tight in here, but as soon as I get that CNC table moved round, that'll give me a lot more room. Why I stuck it in the middle of the floor anyway, I really don't know. So that's the stage we're at the moment. Things are nearly done and ready to go in. I've got to order a load more pipe work because I'm going to redo all that. So I've got to work out what I want so it's all here, and when I decide to do it, I've got all the bits I need. So I've got that to sort out. I'll probably do that tonight, I'm pushing like mad to get these plans done. I've got lots and lots of people asking me for these plans for this new RDF. I'm working every night till sort of 11, 12 o'clock on them, trying to get them done. But there's so much to put into that because I want to explain every detail and explain how everything's done. So I'm working hard on that. It's all go at the minute. Fancy deciding to revamp your filter house. Nightmare city. But there you go, you know how crazy I am. But that's what we're up to at the moment, and that's how far we've got. Well guys, this has now been going on for about 20 minutes and it's still chucking it down. Thank God this shed's waterproof. The fish love it, all that fresh water going in there, they're loving it. But wow, if it keeps this up we're going to be in trouble. The paths are filling up with water now. So I'm hoping this isn't going to last too long. I don't want this to keep coming down. They've had floods in the other part of the country as it is. We don't want too much of it. They're all down there shooting about. They love all this fresh water. Right, well what you can see is the moving bed. I'm just making the moving bed. I've just put the trim around the top, the wooden trim, and I've got the actual stand itself built. The reason for the stand, there's a couple of reasons for that. Number one, I wanted the moving bed lifting 3 inches because the moving bed actually controls the water level in the RDF. So I wanted this lifting to bring the water level up, and also I wanted to make sure it was fitted on a nice level flat surface. And as you can see, I've got a nice sturdy frame there for it to sit on. Because this holds an awful lot of water, there's going to be an awful lot of weight there, so things have to be a little bit stronger. But that's the moving bed just about done. I've just got to put the ins and outs on it and that sort of thing. As you can see, I've got the RDF covered down. I didn't want to put it out in the wet, so I've covered it down and struggled for space. As you can see, I've not got a lot of room in here to work. But I got the stand made. I've just got to put the edging around the stand the same as I did on the RDF, so the wood runs around the bottom of it. And that's about it, apart from, as I say, connecting the inflows and the outflows of the thing. So that's about it at the moment. I've just got to get this stand sorted out. We shouldn't be far off being there. And there we go. That's it. And that's it fitted to the stand. It's just raised us off the ground that bit, but it's on a nice flat surface. That's the good thing about it. So that's our moving bed done. Well, apart from paint, just got to get it painted. I'm standing out the door at the minute trying to take this video and it's raining. It's raining, would you believe? What a change. But that's it, that's the moving bed done. So now I've got the matching pair. Brilliant. Well chuffed with that lot. Well, that's got a coat of paint on the underside of the moving bed stand, what it's going to stand on. So I'm just going to let that dry off a bit, give it another paint, leave it overnight, and then come back in the morning, turn it over and do the other side. So that's got that bit done anyway. Well, what I'm doing here is obviously a water test on the moving bed. So I'm now going to fill it up with water. I also want to see if these sides give at all. If they do, I should put another wooden support round the centre just to help hold it. But I'm going to fill this with water and see what happens. I don't want to get it all installed and then find there's a little leak somewhere. But at the moment we're about 6 inches deep and all looks good at the moment. So I'll come back to you when we get to near working level. Well, we're about at the halfway mark and all looks good at the moment. Don't know whether you can see it because of my shadow in the way, but the slabs are dry up to the halfway point. Don't know whether you can see that down there, it's a little bit dark. But all's looking good at the moment. We're about half full and nothing showing. I'm going to give it to within about 3 or 4 inches of the top, because that's roughly where I want the water level to run, so that I've got plenty of room in there for movement on the media. But all's looking good at the moment, no side swelling, all's going well, up to yet. Just stood here looking at it, that would make a nice little treatment tank actually. You could have that as a little treatment tank if you wanted to treat any of your fish. Just a nice size. Just an idea went through my head as I'm filling this up. But yeah, would come in handy. Well, we're at the 3/4 mark and all's looking good up to yet. I don't see any leaks. at the moment, I'll try to get so you guys can see, we're all looking dry all the way around the bottom at the moment, so it's all looking good up to yet. So not really, not far to go. No sides bowing, so that's not too bad at all. So at this point, all's looking good. We've not got far to go, another 2 inches, 3 inches probably at the most, and that'll be at the working level of water. So all going well. Like I say, it would make a decent little treatment tank, but that's something else. I don't want to get into anything else at the moment. I've got too much going on as it is. I'll be back when she's at the working level. Okay guys, we're nearly there. Now there is slight, I don't know whether you guys will be able to see it, but we are just getting some slight bowing. It is only slight, but then again this is only 6mm, so 6mm PP, so I expected a little bit. So whether I'm going to do anything about that at all or not, I'm not 100% sure. It is bowing a little, I hope you can see that. Probably better this side, slightly, and it is only slightly. But then again you've got a lot of water pressure in here. We're just about at working level now, so I think I might put a batten around the middle just to hold it and help it that bit to stop it making any or giving any problems. I'll probably no need to, because it's not under that much pressure when I feel it. I mean, that isn't bad at all, but for peace of mind probably it'd just help it and stop it moving about. But everything else looks good. No leaks seen. We're at working level now. There's no leaks around it at all. I'm just going to switch the water off because that's about where it wants to be at working level. Just take that out of the way. But that's it full of water. There's nothing showing around the bottom at all at the moment. I hope the sun's not spoiling your guys' view, but there's nothing there. The sun is low in the sky at this time of year. But all's good all the way around it. There's just that slight bowing, and it is only slight as well for that amount of water. It's holding it well. I don't know whether you'd see it better from this end. Let's have a look from this end and see what we could see. As you can, I hope you can see, it is just bowed out about 1/4 inch, but it's not under real great stress because I can just move it in and out. So whether to worry about that too much or not, I don't know. I don't think it'll be a problem, to be honest. I think that'll be fine, and to be quite honest, I'm above working level. I shan't have it quite that high. It will be a little bit lower than that, but yeah, that's great. I'm well pleased with that. It's holding water. Now I shall leave it for an hour or two and see how it gets on. So be back with you shortly. Okay, here we are an hour down the line and all looks good. Well, it's a bit more than an hour really, but all's looking good all the way around. I'm quite happy with that. All's looking good. So what I'm going to do now is pump it out. I've got the pump there. I'm going to pump it out, clean it up, and we'll get the top painted and it's put on its base so that we're ready to go. Well pleased with that. Well, good morning everybody. What a drop in temperature we've got today. Whoa, it's blooming cold. Let's just have a look on the thermometer, see what we've got there. Now if that'll focus, we've got about 8 or 9 degrees. Can you guys see that? I hope so. About 8 or 9 degrees. It's not very warm at all. So let's just take a quick look at the actual pond temp. As soon as the camera stops messing about, we'll just take a quick look at that. Yeah, it's easier if I open the actual door itself. Let's have a look. Oh, 12 degrees. So the pond's down to 12 degrees I'm afraid, and at best it's 9 in here, so it's only about 8 outside. So the old pond temperature's really coming down now. Soon be time for the wheat germ. Anything around sort of 11 and 10 degrees I'll feed them wheat germ, so I'll get some of that ordered. If your temperature drops, wheat germ is a lot easier for your fish to digest, so I'll feed them that. Still feed them at about sort of 8 and 9 degrees. I'll give them a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit. Anything below that, don't feed them at all. It's really come down now, so winter is well and truly on its way by the looks of it. Well guys, here we are down in the big shed. I've got the actual moving bed back in here now, and as you can see I've added a second rail around the actual RDF just in case. It's peace of mind really. I didn't know whether to or not. My initial thought was it doesn't really need it, but I kept thinking about it and I thought for peace of mind, if I put one around it I can forget about it. So that's what I've done. I've added the rail around the centre just in case, which will help it. It'll stop it straining the plastic at all. And that's it. That's the moving bed all done. The RDF's all done. I've just got to get it painted now. I've just got to get this woodwork painted. I've done the actual bottom which I showed you before, but that's that all done. I've just got to get the connection between the two sorted out, and it's ready to go up into the filter house. So the sooner I can get that done the better, because I can't move in here. It's absolutely blooming packed in here. There's not a lot of room at all. But that's all ready to go. The RDF's all ready to go. It's just a matter of just checking over that. There's one alteration I want to make on the RDF, and that's so I could use tap water if I want. So I've just got an electric valve to add to that, which hasn't come yet. I'm still waiting for. But that's about it. All ready to go. Done and completed, which I'm quite pleased about. It looks nice, to be quite honest. I think that's come out quite well. Anyway guys, it's that time again, I'm afraid. So all that leaves me to say is thanks for watching. You all take care and happy ponding.